Hey everyone, nice chilly fall day out. Nothing nice about it. I hate when fall comes. I like fall, but that means winter's coming. So winter's a time of saw work though. So um, we're gonna do it. Let's take this Homelite apart and let's see the damage we created. I'll angle you guys down here so you can see good. I'm gonna start looking at camera mounts and all that kind of stuff. I use these are mop covers or whatever that you clean the floor with. I use these to throw my parts bins in, or my parts in, and they work good. Let's take this saw apart and see what we did. I just cleaned up my bench. That took about an hour. Just gonna pause you here and pull some tools out, and let's get this party started. Okay, we're back. I use my drill for disassembly. I generally don't use it for assembly because I'm scared to wreck stuff. Let's put this on drill. My hands are pretty beat, so anytime I can save this. So first things first, I was having problems with these dogs. There, right here. See, this one's stuck again. This flywheel has a ding right here, and these dogs are over traveling. So, I know how I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna modify this dog a little bit so it doesn't catch. But yeah, that was an issue. I don't know if you guys saw in the videos, but the recoil on this saw. I'm just gonna grab a ratchet here. The recoil on this saw was kind of crackety crack at times, and it was causing me a little bit of trouble. What do we need here? We need a flat screwdriver. So yeah, I just spent an hour cleaning up my bench because it tends to accumulate stuff. Let's see if we can. Wow, Papa, I put this handle on. Isn't that funny, guys? I literally put this on, and I did not over-tighten it, and somehow it's stupidly tight now. One of these was seized when I took the saw apart. I had to apply heat to it, and get it to come out. Another trick you can do is tap it with a hammer. Put the screwdriver in. My brother used to work with a guy, and he'd say, you got to wake it up. And it's like, yeah. Okay, handle assembly in the parts bin. We're going to take the trigger off. This little stud's kind of loose in there on this one. It's fine when you put it together, though. Okay. Do this. Here's that throttle linkage I spent hours making. We're going to keep that. Allen key. I got that stubby Allen key. See, I'm prepared, but I'm not prepared. Let's see what we got here, guys. It's in one of these bins. Give me a second. Okay, the stubby Allen key. I want to show you guys kind of more what I did. I don't know if I'm going to do this again. Part of me kind of wants to make the next one a sleeper. It just looks like a Homelite, and then you put it in the wood and it's angry. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Let's take this choke rod off. I love these needle nose pliers. They save me. All right, there's the choke. Little wire holding it in. Get the choke off. Okay, socket again. I'm going to show you guys. If you were going to do that, you see that slot, I filed that into there. Okay, that's the only way you can get it, the bolt that's holding it on. I didn't really want to do that, but I couldn't run this without an air filter, and I kind of like the thought of putting a 266 air filter on this, and I still like it. A lot of work though. The only way to figure out if an idea is valid is to try it out. So, okay, the second bolt goes into here. On an angle, which is what you want with these ball head Allen keys. Okay, we got that loose. Again, this slot here is to insert an Allen key. All right, if you had to get at that to tighten it up, which you do, you put your Allen key like that. See, and I'm backing it off. We want to take this thing apart as nicely as we can, because I'm just going to get an extension here. This bottom end's still good. The reed cage is good. There's a lot of good parts on this saw. We might just put another top end on this saw, or we might just build one of the saws we got yesterday when we were Homelite hunting. Okay, I took the fuel line off this saw already. Let's get this in here. Now, I glued this together. I had an air leak when I put this saw together, guys. So these gaskets are not in the best of shape. So they were, but once you mess with them a couple times, see, this gasket's just destroyed. So I'm probably going to cut some new gaskets for the next saw. We'll see. I took one of them apart already, and the gaskets are just toast. And that is a problem with these saws that have intake blocks. You're going to get leaks in there, especially when they're this old, which is a pain in the butt. And I mean, that's why a lot of guys are not going to work on stuff like this. Me being me, if it's extra hard, I want to do it. I'm just like that. I get more enjoyment out of stuff that takes longer. That's just how I do it. Let's see if you guys can even see what I'm doing here. Taking the screws out of the intake block. Sorry, I got to look at the camera more as I take stuff apart. Again, guys, I'm always learning on how to shoot videos. Keep my elbow out of the way. Let's angle you down more here. Okay, gently gonna move the intake block. Yeah, it's stuck pretty good. I glued both. There we go. Intake block. Two of the reeds are stuck. Here, look. They stuck as it came out. I'm going to grab them. If they fall down, they're going to be in the bottom end. I can fix that. So first things first, reeds look fine. These reeds weren't in the best of shape, but they worked. So. Okay, so show you guys how to take one of these apart if you never have. Oh, that doesn't fit in there. I need a thin wall. Hold on, guys, I'll grab a thin wall. That's why you can never have too many tools, can you? Nothing's worse than you need something and you don't have it. Let's pull this muffler off too while we're at it, and get it ready. Remember this cylinder. This cylinder had boogered up holes. Honestly, I chose to port this saw because it wasn't in the best of shape. Figured it was a good donor. You can get aftermarket cylinders for these saws. I was going to say I lost a screw, but no, I didn't. I took it off when we were looking at this saw before. Too many saws, eh? Can't keep it all what you did to this and that. Okay. Right here, let's pull the spark plug out, make our lives a little bit easier. Good old still spark scrunch here. Had this scrunch a long time. She's pretty beat. Looks good though. Okay. Pull this out. If I can get my fingers in there, which I never seem to be able to. First thing, like it starting to turn brown. This saw was slightly lean at the end, so that's something to note. Remember though, if the top end's piling up, it makes heat, and heat is going to make the saw go lean, right? So two things happen when something like this failure happens. Let's throw this carb over here. Two things happen. Number one, you have friction from the parts dragging against each other ready to fail, which creates heat. Number two, so the more the friction occurs, the more the saw gets warm and you blow it up, right? So that's why I like working on these guys. These kind of engines have zero room for error because of the way they are. They're very simple, but they're also very easy to blow off. Just pulling the oil lines off. Figured I'd just shoot this one in real time and let the chips fall where they may. No trickery here. I actually like the way these things have copper fuel lines. Super cool. I gotta find some video from years ago. I have it somewhere on a CD. I'll see if I can get it onto my phone. I built a chopper years ago. Flat black sheet metal, a chrome frame, flat black sheet metal, and I did all the fuel lines, oil lines, everything. It was a Harley in copper, and I twirled them, and I don't know, it looked super rowdy. Took me 2 months to do those lines. Got some oil in here. Yeah, that was a fun project, doing copper lines. I felt like it helped with cooling too, which it did a little bit. And it looked cool, so. Okay, bend that line out of the way. Okay. Handle bolt, this one, right here. Put that in the bin. Okay, we're getting there. These 4 bolts right here. I Loctited all this stuff because these saws vibrate and they will shake parts loose. Okay. What did we do here? Right here. There we go. Okay, put that off to the side. Coil. I'm going to take this coil off right here. This wire had some issues. I repaired it. Again, R&D saw. I wouldn't send it out the door like that, but to get it to run in the yard, perfect. As long as it works. That's what you do with saws when you're building them. You suss out problems, and I found the plug wire in this thing is actually in 2 pieces. So, okay, get these screws off. This is a bracket that holds the coil on these. It was actually funny, when I went to put the saw back together, I didn't realize that bracket was there, and there I was standing at my bench for a half an hour wondering how the heck this coil bolts to here. Live and learn, eh guys? Okay. We're 4 bolts away from looking at this thing. Let's see how bad it was. Hopefully this bottom end's still good. There may have been parts scattered. That's what it is. My special filed down 7/16 wrench. Again, love this wrench. See how it's like super thin? Like 20 years ago, guys, shovel head. My buddy and I, he bought this ugly shovel head. It was like a 74 Harley FL, and it ended up, it didn't run when he got it. We got it running, and then we realized it had a S&S Super Sidewinder kit. Very nice stroker kit for a shovel head. Well, it seems like somebody built it in their garage, and the assembly of the motor was very questionable. So we ended up pulling the motor out of that bike and going through it. It was like brand new. It's like somebody tried to rebuild their motor, and it never ran properly, so they never rode the bike. Well, we couldn't get that kit had oversized cylinders, I believe, and a longer stroke. I can't remember, it's been so long, but the way the recesses were machined for the cylinder nuts, you couldn't get a wrench in there. You couldn't get anything in there. So I think we made a custom wrench. I think we welded a socket to a custom wrench like this so that we could use it like a crow's foot to torque the cylinder down. It was fun. The good old days before you had a mortgage and you know, just being a young man working on stuff with your buddy, hanging out in the garage. Some of the best times of my life. I look back on that time period fondly. Good times. We're almost there, guys. Just gonna... I was watching the Iron Horse yesterday. You hear my cricket, my shop cricket there. I think his cousin lives at the Iron Horses. I was laughing. Harvey's got a cricket just like I do. Ooh, we dropped the bolt in the bottom end. There you go. A little fuel in there. Washers, lock washers. I don't particularly like working on these saws. I can't get my fingers. I can't get my fingers in the back here. My hands are too big. And these are a good precision fit thread. So they have a little bit of tension on them when you're undoing them. So, and the other problem is once you machine a cylinder, it's hard to get the nut in here because you've dropped it. I may, if I machine the next cylinder, which I might, I probably will, but I'm more apt to take a file and dress these a little bit. Hey, same thing, guys. Sealing, it ain't coming off. Tap, 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 tap. Okay? You have to shock this seal mechanically. You got to hit it with a dead blow to break the seal. Once you break the seal, oh, that washer just fell behind the flywheel on the magnet side. Oh, lovely. I guess we're taking the flywheel off to get that washer. Okay. What do we got here? There's that washer. I'm gonna grab a rag. Just hold on. I'm gonna grab a shop rag here and I used to wear nothing but motorcycle shirts. Is that funny? Let's clean this off. That piston doesn't look terrible. Ooh, there you go. I think, okay, we got to take this piston out of here. I'm going to take the piston out, and I'm going to pause you guys. These are a little bit of a pickle to get out. I'm going to take this piston wrist pin out, or a gudgeon, like Bill Block would say, a gudgeon. I'm going to take that out, and then we'll look at everything. I haven't even looked at the cylinder yet. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, let's start with the piston. So there you go, it hooked a ring and bada bing, bada boom. I dressed this piston up a little bit. You can see when that happens, something went flying and she's got all kinds of goodness. Not too bad though. It is what it is. Cylinder. I'm just going to get my light ready here. Make sure you guys can see what I see. Here. Boom. So you can see she caught the bridge, and she's toast. Major scoring. We're gonna have to hang this one up on the wall of shame. Yeah. Rest of the cylinder looks okay. So we know more now than we did. I can't tell. I can. This rod, here, let's see. I'm going to angle you guys right down. This rod, listen to this, guys. This rod let go, guys. So, bottom end's junk, top end's junk. Yeah, rod let go. So, there we go. We know we turned this thing up too hot. Maybe the rod let go, and that's what caused it to fail. This saw ran good, guys. Very good. I did run this saw a little bit after I made the video where I fired it up and I was all excited. I ran it a little bit over a 3-day period. I filmed every inch of it just to see what it was going to do. I did not put it in wood. I let it idle. It was fine. But I filmed every inch so that when it blew up, we'd get it on film. The funny thing is about this rod is it doesn't look like it got hot. See, there's no discoloration. That'll generally turn blue. If you see a blue rod, they're not always bad, but you inspect that rod because that tells you it's gotten hot. These rods are kind of funny. I think this rod let go. It's got, yeah, there we go. It's got slight movement, guys. We're talking a couple thousandths. You got to pull up on that rod like this. See what I'm doing? Hold your clutch or your flywheel. Put it in the middle. Can you guys hear that? Okay. What are we going to do? We are going to do this saw again. We're going to pay particular attention to the reeds, the carburation, and the timing numbers. Wow. This thing was pulling so hard, it was wearing the sprocket. You guys see that? Wow. Maybe the clutch can't handle the power. We're going back to the drawing board. We're building 2 more of these, or 4 more, or however many until it takes to get it. I don't want to blow any more of these up, guys. These are nice saws. Again, rings are shattered. It's hard to say. I suspect that maybe, I'm not going to say for sure. I think maybe this rod failed and there's a lot of side-to-side movement. So here's what I do, guys. When I don't know something, I'm going to run this across with some of my buddies. And, you know, the Kensies and the Iron Horses of the world and go, hey guys, what do you think? That's what you do. When you're a saw builder, you ask your buddies, you say, hey man, what do you think? I know what they're going to think. You blew that saw up good. Question is why? And I think it hung a ring, but I think this rod was ready to let go. Whether it was on its way out to start with, I don't know. These parts are old, guys. These parts are as old as I am. So we know not to take the bridge out. We're not taking the bridge out. So, anything else beyond that, we will suss out the problems. We're doing this again on this channel. And that's all we can do. Maybe we find out we can't port these. But you know what we are going to port, guys? Hold on. I got saws everywhere in here right now. That's a chainsaw. I haven't run that saw in a week. That thing fired first pull. That's a Homelite. These things are so reliable. If I can turn them up just enough to make them run like a modern saw, why not? I went too far with this one. That's okay. This is the game we're playing, right? Now I know. The only way I would know is to not go too far. If I didn't go too far, we wouldn't know that. So now we all know together and we move on, right? Onward and upward. Okay, guys. So, boom, junk, junk, junk. I was suspicious of that rod when I put the saw together, but sometimes it's hard to feel movement in a rod. It looked okay, but I'm like, So, there you guys go. The nice thing about this rod is it's two-piece. I can take... You see the screws in there? I can take this rod apart and inspect the bearings. I can measure them with a precision micrometer or whatever, right? I have all that stuff here. So there we go. Homelite, it failed. I'm sad. You're sad. Let's make ourselves happy and port another Homelite. As always, thanks for watching. It happened. I'm sorry. Take it easy, guys.